What is up, everybody? It is Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads, fathers, and male caregivers that is sponsored by Dubman Plus Care. And being part of that team, we've reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. As always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And this is Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala. We're broadcasting on June 28th. Like now, more than the half of the year is gone now. 6 months full almost is gone of the year. And time is just going by fast. Like weather in Toronto earlier on this week, it was ridiculously hot. It's cooled off decently, and we're just hanging out. So we're looking forward to things. And how are we going to do things today? Should we bring the ladies up and then go to break, or should we do break and then bring the ladies up? You know what? Let's bring them up. Here we go.
Hey.
What's going on?
I love that you're outside. You putting your toes in grass?
I'm actually on the deck, but I went out. Oh, I did go out into grass earlier. My sister's, where my sister lives, they, in her subdivision, they have a community garden, and everybody who owns a house there has a patch of land where they can grow things. So my sister was out this morning, tilling her land. I was out there helping her weed and all those things.
Tilling the land? Are you on a farm or something? Tilling the land? You sound like you're on a farm.
City dirt, you have to till it and get down in there to get down to the good soil. Because my sister was like, "How do you know how to do this?" I'm like, because I read stuff about irrigation things, things like that, and so the closer you are to water, which is deeper in land, the better the dirt is, the better the quality of the dirt is going to be.
Okay.
And also, too, that's why plants put their roots so deep in. So I was showing her that when you go that deep, the roots are easier to take up because the roots are going to be closer to where their water source is.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know that.
So, Lala, do you put your toes in the sand, in the dirt?
I do.
Yeah.
I actually went to the beach this week and I put all 10 toes in. I needed it. I think I've mentioned before that I'm working through the Artist's Way.
Yes.
And part of that is taking yourself out on creative dates to help your creativity. So one of the things that I do is go to the beach, just me, my headphones, and just lay out in the sun a little bit. Hopefully I'm showing some glow, and I put my feet all in the sand, and that just feels good.
Hey.
Yeah. You got to.
Yeah. So give me a win each one of you had this week.
I started my series. I started my series on my YouTube channel, and it's my journey going through the Artist's Way, but it's called Finding Your Soul's Voice. What's it about? It's about this creative journey, tapping into your life purpose.
Nice. Aisha K, give us a win.
Oh, goodness. Wow.
Come on,
today's cool. I finally cooled off. That is a big win because I was really, really hot last week. But no, you know what I did this week? I started playing with a new AI model and came up with I was telling Jill and Lala these 5-minute videos of to tell event in history. And the first one I worked on is this Black woman named Henrietta Wood, who won reparations in the 1870s. First Black woman to do that. And they told her the same excuses they use now. Oh, it was too long ago. 1870. Okay, it was too long ago that you were re-kidnapped and put back into slavery. So I've been working on that and getting to know this AI platform, and it's a lot of fun. So that for me was a win because I got to tell the story I wanted to tell and to do it in a bite-sized thing so people can pay attention to things. And it's called Sweet Tea and History.
I love it. I love it.
Are you willing to share what platform you're using or what software you're using?
I've tried this one on different platforms. So I'm trying to figure out which one I like best. But I created the opening, the intro on Canva.
Okay. Yeah, Canva has AI incorporated. Yes.
Yeah. The problem with that
incorporated VO3.
Yes.
Right. The problem with it, though, even if you have a paid thing, is that they're right now, while they're doing the trial part, they're only letting you do X number of videos per month.
Yeah.
So I've moved to looking at other platforms. Like right now I'm looking at Lumen. There's another one that I gotta I had to apply to get a demo track, and I got the demo thing for a month. So
pick Lumen
5.
There's also yeah, we should chat offline, and I actually should share with both of you. I got a list of great free AI tools.
Would love that. I subscribed to Kling this week because I'm also learning to do the videos.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Well, first we'll send it to Aisha and Lala through our private, then we'll share it with the family.
What I found though is that they are when you pay for a subscription, it's the platform usage. It's much more user friendly versus the free version, honestly.
Of course.
But the one that I'm going to work on before I release this video is I want to try tomorrow. It's called Aisha and.
I love it.
It's a Black-owned AI. It's called Aisha.
Oh, I love it.
My sister told me about it.
It's Black-owned?
Mm-hmm.
Can you share that information with me? Because I'd love to see if I can have it on the show. Because
as soon as I get it, as soon as my sister's actually gonna she sent me the link of my text messages. So as soon as I get back to my text messages, but it's called Aisha AI.
That's great. And because there's also a gentleman up here in the Canada area, I'll show his name, Perry Douglas, who has he's very much in the digital space, has 6 AI technologies, and he's created his own LLM, learning language model.
Yeah.
And and I'm getting blessed. I'm going to be getting some time to demo it for a bit. So I'm looking forward to putting it in. He says he's really excited because yes, he wants companies to use it because he says we're going to get rid of consultants. And for me, he says I'd love it because I'm more of a creative, so I'll be his prime creative person to test out.
That's great.
Yeah, to put in ideas and things like that. So that is great. That is great.
I'm looking forward to trying this Aisha AI and getting in touch with the creator because and see if they're willing to allow me to promote, to use and promote it because just by virtue of this having the same name.
Right. Aisha use Aisha.
hey, get a deal. Get a deal, girlfriend. Get a deal so you can cut some stuff. And I love it. There's a lot of people watching live today. Good to see you all here. And we are broadcasting on Substack. Yes. And I finally found the way of and I have to thank Tanya Smith. Love you, Tanya Smith, who did a great instructional video on how to broadcast on Substack. So I have my Substack page open. I'm going to see if I can actually monitor this conversation on Substack. So if any people have any comments, I can reply to them on Substack. But
that's great.
Yeah, I'm really got to spend some more time digging into the Substack scene. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to go for a break. Go for a 30-second break, and when we come back, we'll do a little housework, and then we're going into another boring week in America. So
we don't know what we're going to talk about.
There's none to talk about. So we'll be back in 30 seconds. Black Canada Talking, where Black Canadians give their takes, POVs, and insights on local, provincial, national, international conversations. Cesar Nadima Musa. What is up, Cesar?
Hi, Dr. Vibe. Thanks for having me. And it jeopardizes your ability to sustain yourself financially.
40 programs have been suspended due to the drop in revenue.
We see this happening over and over again throughout history.
What does that tell you about America? There they are. Cesar, Nadima Musa, myself on Sundays on Black Canada Talking.
Please tell Cesar I love the Wu-Tang sweatshirt.
I will do that. I will do that. I will do that.
I have an ODB sweatshirt. A t-shirt. I love Wu-Tang Clan.
You can, yeah, that is a classic. That is a classic. All right.
I saw Wu-Tang in concert.
No.
At a small club in 1993, 94 in New Haven, Connecticut. The place used to be called Toad's Place. And they're closed now, but yes, I saw Wu-Tang. All of them were there. And let me tell you, the stage was small. All of them were there. It was very dark, very smoky, very 90s, but I loved it so much. I was 19 and I just loved it so much.
19 at that concert?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh, that's great. Lala, let me ask you before we got a little more fun, because we can always go on a tangent when we talk about music. What was the first concert you remember going to? And Aisha, same question for you.
It was the Beastie Boys.
Who?
It was the Beastie Boys.
Come on.
No, I was scheduled to go to see Prince's Controversy concert. And it was in Louisville, Kentucky. So when they came out and said what Prince was going to do, my mother said, "Nah, you little girl, you ain't going. You're not going to that one." And so she didn't know anything about Beastie Boys. And so Fishbone was the opening act. I enjoyed Fishbone, enjoyed Beastie Boys, but what Mom didn't know what was going to come up out of that stage would have been easier for me to go and see Prince.
Okay, Aisha.
Well, we always have free concerts on the green in our downtown. So I'm sure there are people that I've seen that I can't remember, but the one I remember was Any Heartbreak Tour. The fall in 1988, I saw Bobby Brown, New Edition. I'll be sure was supposed to be there, but he didn't come to that concert. So it was just New Edition and Bobby Brown.
That's the what?
Yeah. The Any Heartbreak Tour.
Wow.
My parents are still married at the time. They took me, two of my friends, and my sisters.
Oh, before we go any further, we have a special guest watching the show today. I got to shout her out. Tiara KJ Williams is watching the show. Tiara, it is.
Tiara! Thank you for coming in.
Tiara, so good to see you today. And I gotta check out Tiara, the driving force of many queens on Fly Nubian Queen. It's on 1 o'clock Monday to Friday on the Fly Nubian Queen Network. Tiara is the producer. I I know you just completed a video, Tiara. So hopefully, Tiara. Let me get my head, not my heart. Tiara. Hope you don't jump off the live stream because I pronounced it wrong. Now behave now. But no, but please check it out. Lala is part of that conversation all the time. So make sure you check it out. All right.
I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. That is so. Okay. All right. We got lots of comments here already. So let's do housework first. Girlfriends chat with Aisha, Lala, and Jill Jones on Patreon. There is the link to catch on Patreon. That's the link to catch it on Substack. Also, Primetime Saturday Show Store. There is the link. Join Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala, the Discord group. Email me or hit the link or copy the link and put it up live. And also subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button if you're up to it. And also like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. And I've got to correct the spelling of Blue Sky, but it is Blue Sky. And also to advertise your business product or service on the show, please email me dr.vib at the drvibeshow.com. And finally, we cannot forget IndieSoup Dr. Tachi's independent content creators platform, but 28,000 people who have
Wow, that's so wonderful.
16 months. This is seen on it, replays of this, edit versions, and also there's the website. And we got a pile of comments. So let's get all into these comments before we get to stories, because it's nice to have. It's not the norm. So people already jumped in. So Enlightened Being says, hello, family. Ken Myers, #1 fan. Hey, hello, everyone. He says, it's still hot here in Cleveland. And then Enlightened Being says, I put all 10 toes in today. LOL. And producer Matt says, nice and chilled here in my area. A beautiful 19 degrees Celsius, which is, that's not 32 degrees. That's not 32. No, well, he's saying for non-Canadians, that's like 32 degrees Fahrenheit. He's joking like that.
Oh, I was going to say, I was like, that's freezing.
He's playing jokes. That's about.
But I should know better, because 18 degrees is what I keep my AC in my car. 18 Celsius.
Yeah, so it's about 60, anywhere in the range of 65, 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Regina, good evening. I just washed off my dirty toes from weeding the garden hose. 77 degrees, but 85%. Ooh, humidity in New York. Ooh.
Well, it rained. It's been raining in the tri-state area. So yeah, Ooh, boy.
So Aisha asked, where in New York, Regina? She's asking. And then Matt says, I'm so jealous, Lala. And Lala said, thank you for joining in to all the people that tuned in doing on her Facebook channel. Aisha says, Chiara, that's my niece's name. Oh, whoa. Here's crazy. Man, we may never get through today's show. Concert show. Regina says, my first concert, the Rolling Stones in 1975.
Wow.
Who was opening
it's the next one for me that I'm so jealous, because I would have loved to go.
The second big one was Parliament Funkadelic. Yes, the Mothership was part of the show. I think 1976.
Wow.
I would have liked to go in 1976, and I was 2 at that time. I would have loved it. And let me tell you, the Mothership, you know where it is now? Black History Museum, DC. Hopefully somebody gets it back. Yeah, I have a picture of the Mothership there from the museum. My sister took my daughter and my nephew, and that's the thing my daughter brought back for me, was a picture of the Mothership, as well as one of Prince's outfits from, I forget from what era. I think it was from Purple Parade, I think. But yeah.
Jeez, the
whole Mothership. It's on I think she said the 3rd floor. It's so big. But there are a lot of things like that at that museum, and that's what breaks my heart about what they're doing to it.
And I've never seen them in concert. Would love to. I'd still go.
Jude's still wearing his diaper.
Yeah.
Still funky.
Uh-oh.
I did see George Clinton. I did see George Clinton about 10 years ago. And
I did see him a long time ago. I do remember I did see him, but it wasn't the whole Mothership.
But no, the whole Parliament, George Clinton and Parliament was there in the park by my apartment at the time. I didn't even have to go. I just walked out to the parking lot in where my car was and sat with a lawn chair and listened with a glass of wine. Because I could hear everything. I mean, the park was down the street.
You have said that before. I remember you mentioned.
Yeah, I said it when it happened. I think it was so it must have been 2017, I think. But yeah, they were right out. It was beautiful.
Oh.
I'm very jealous, Regina.
More comments. Regina goes, I live in New Paltz, Hudson Valley.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Across from Poughkeepsie. And Enlightened Beings goes, Parliament. Oh, yes. And producer Matt goes, okay, I'm bad at math. Should have been 66 degrees Fahrenheit when transitioned from 19 degrees Celsius. And Regina goes, there was so much weed being smoked. Weed being smoked. Sorry, I was thinking about your guy. So much weed being smoked. I had a major contact high.
Look, and that circles back to the very first thing that we ended up talking about, so how we got here. The Wu-Tang concert was the Toast place was small, but the Wu-Tang concert, you didn't have to smoke to get high in there because
You know,
it was
there
lit.
was so much smoke. Yes, it's true. I want to go back.
I walked out of there. I wasn't sure I could drive.
I want to go back to Regina's comment. We didn't finish it. She goes, there was so much weed being smoked. I had a major contact high. There were a lot of people on stage. George Clinton is amazing. Yes. And then producer Matt says, my first concert was Imagine Dragons.
Oh, my nephew loves Imagine Dragons.
Thought my most favorite that I saw was a band called Blind Guardian. All right. We got some variety in the house. Well, you know what? It's time to talk about other things in the world.
Yeah.
You
I was
sure?
so happy for a second. Okay. Okay, go.
Okay. Let's just have a moment of silence. Okay.
Go.
All right. And this just landed yesterday. U.S. Supreme Court curbs injunctions and gives 47 a win on birthright citizenship.
And he wasted no time.
Starting the White House.
Mm-hmm. And he wasted no time, right? Because the first thing what he did was that, oh, guess what? I'm taking TPS from Haitians. You can go back. You can go back from we don't have temporary protected status anymore. You can go back and Haiti is safe. But here's the thing for me. Yes, he curbed this. And for people who don't understand, what this basically means is that a judge can't say, okay, you know what? I find in this courtroom for these defendants that this executive order, for example, does not work. So I am putting an injunction on it, a pause on it, to you all bring this matter to court. What the Supreme Court says was that when the judges were doing that, they usually were saying, okay, but this goes for the whole country until everyone who needs to sue you can sue you. And the Supreme Court basically said that those judges cannot do that. On the one hand, on birthright citizenship, it's a terrible thing.
It's awful.
It's an awful thing.
Awful. It does not represent what we are supposed to be representing.
Right. But Democrats need to be very, very smart about this, because here it's not a bright light, but here is the flip side of this. Guess what that means? Remember that injunction in Texas from the guy who wants to stop mifepristone and for it to go for the whole country? The Supreme Court says that injunctions are curbed. He can't stop everybody in the country from having mifepristone. Remember all the plans that they were trying to do with birth control? They were hoping that the one judge would do that with birth control. Guess what? This does, because see, the thing is, right now, Donald Trump is on his roller coaster of a win, so high, so happy. No one has told him, but you know what else this means, right? So no one has posed that. So let him have his win. Let him be high on that. This is horrible, but that's not the only thing. The second thing should be this. Aside from that part, he wants to expand birthright citizenship. So women who are not here, their children, women who are not citizens yet, even if their children are born here, those children will not have citizenship in a state if the family moves. So for example, if the child is born here in Connecticut and they're born, we say they're a citizen, whatever. But if they move to Texas, where Texas is going to say, oh, we don't do that here, that child will not be considered a citizen in Texas. So what do? Guess what? We've got two people. We've got the president himself, who is only president because of birthright citizenship. Let's be very clear, okay? His mother was not a citizen at the time of his birth, okay? So let's start by that. And people need to not remind him, but we need to keep reminding him and keep saying it. And two, Barron, this also applies to Barron. And if you really want to get under this man's skin, the thing I've learned is you have to embarrass him. When he's embarrassed, he walks things back. We're going to talk about this thing with Pete Hegseth later, but the truth of the matter, when it came out last weekend that, wait a second, after he did his little thing, when it came out, wait a second, he didn't have this, he didn't do this, he didn't answer to Congress, he canceled this with Congress, and he got embarrassed by the coverage, particularly that leaked letter. When he got embarrassed by that leaked information, he went and he doubled back. So yeah,
I'm just going to for a second. If you are watching this live on the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube channel, please put in your comments on what you think about the Supreme Court. How do you feel about the Supreme Court decision on birthright citizenship? Well, we'll be able to show them in real time. Lala, go ahead.
The Supreme Court is compromised. We know that. We are completely devastated. This is nothing what is written into, and he even tried to go back and say this was based on slavery. But not only that, this was another jab at him to claim that Biden knew nothing, everything is everybody else's fault. It's never his. But Aisha, here's where you and I disagree, because I'm so very, very disappointed. It does not matter how many times we remind his stupid. He continues to get away with absolutely everything. And when that happens, that limits our power as well. Until we have a complete uprising of Americans who are tired of this and who are not MAGA, and for those Republicans who are not MAGA, we are. And I don't trust the Supreme Court. I don't trust anybody in his cabinet. I don't trust Congress. I don't trust nobody. And I still say Democrats are not doing enough. If this man is pure, simple evil. And it doesn't matter what we feel about Barron or his porn wife or any of those people, because we all know that this doesn't matter for them. It only matters for us. And I am at my wit's end on how are we supposed to unify to get the power that we need, to get this idiot and his whole administration out of a White House that he didn't even win. So these type of things, I have to catch my breath. This came out Friday. It's going to take me probably a week to even sit down and think about things, but that's the plan.
And that is why I think for me, I start to look at how can this hurt them? And you know how else it hurts them? Because the thing is this. He actually gave us a gimme. People don't realize it. The gimme was what you said, Lala. It was what he said about, well, this 14th Amendment was intended for descendants of slaves. Okay, so you know what I did? I took that and I went to Blue Sky and I said, guess what, white people? Y'all ain't safe. Because he said the 14th Amendment was intended for the descendant of slaves. You guys aren't safe. And you know the meltdown people started having. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, yeah. Well, I said, if we're going to go after the literal thing, because here's the problem. It's not that people aren't fighting. We're fighting in our communities. Latino people are fighting in the street. It is white moderates, white centrists, and white liberals who aren't fighting because they're waiting for other people to do the hard work for them of fighting this man to the point of exhaustion, of being totally exhausted like we are. Because while I promise you, you and I are concerned about these things. We're tired about this stuff. We are exhausted about this. But the very people, those moderates who sit there, and many of them who are sitting in Congress right now, they're okay. Because you know what? They go home and they don't let this exhaust them, because even they still think that this is for those people, about those people. And like I was telling you guys behind the scenes, I'm writing this piece, and the bottom line is that until they stop trying to look at the queer movement and take from that, or co-opting the civil rights movement, none of it will ever work. What they need to do is start acting like the very people that they are. The same way that they can go off on a barista for inconveniencing them by not having oat milk at the ready. It gives that same energy to this man, to his politicians, to your aunts and uncles and your family members. Treat them like they forgot your oat milk. Period. And that is why I think that it doesn't matter us getting exhausted in front. We know this is coming at us. We know this is coming at us. The frustrating part for us is that we know it's coming for them too, and we need them to get off their ass and do something. And my thing is this: let it hurt, because I realize that we've done enough damage. You know where the damage came? You guys remember back in 2020 when COVID first started? You know why he let 1 million people die? Because what did the first report say, Lala, about who was dying from COVID? Right. The report said that it was
mute, Lala.
I heard
it was us.
I said us.
They said us. They let right. But guess what? Do you know? I added this for my piece that I wrote. Do you know of that 1 million people, how many of them were white?
I don't know the number,
almost 800,000. The majority. You know how many black people died? 150,000. This is of 1.5 million. Okay. So when we're talking about these things, those are the kinds of things that have to be said to these people to understand. Because remember, the media, they reported, oh, black people are more likely and Latinos are more likely to die from COVID than any other group, and left it at that. And left it at that. But they didn't start telling the other stories. And it's kind of like 9/11. Remember 9/11? If you look at the reports of 9/11 and who died, you would think that only white people died.
Yeah.
When they were like, what was it, 300 black kids on their way to a science conference in California? Yeah. So come on.
All right, just to catch up, there's a whole pile of comments. Yeah. So there's a whole pile of comments as per usual, and let's get them going. And I'm just in happiness here because I'm also got another screen. We're broadcasting live on Substack. This is a beautiful thing. And there's got some people, you got 2 people watching on Substack. So whoever's watching on Substack, hey, I'm watching the screen on Substack. If you have comments, I'll certainly share them with the family here. But let's get to some comments. Regina says 2 class action lawsuits already been filed after the decision came down. Enlightened Being says Democrats are powerless. MAGA has shackled them. This is so beyond horrible. Real Django, haven't seen you for a while. Thumbs up. Also, the Walamala says, I haven't been keeping up with the Supreme Court. You should. Aisha says the worst part was the disrespect towards KB.
Yeah. To Brown Jackson.
Yeah. Did you see her response?
I saw her response, but did you see how Amy Coney Barrett gave a response after that and basically was just totally disrespectful? And Ketanji Brown Jackson, oh my God, when I say that woman kept her cool, because I would have said, doesn't this apply to your daughter?
Exactly.
Your black daughter?
They don't like it when you call them out. But I really appreciate what she said as well is and I'm pulling it up so I can say exactly what her comment was. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson said it's not difficult to predict. It is not difficult to predict how this will all end. Eventually, executive power will become completely uncontainable, and our beloved Constitution or Republic will be no more. She's right on it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
100%. Regina says birthright citizenship will not be overturned. It's too insane, and SCOTUS will rule the day they started this mess because it makes zero sense. Even as GOP AGs know this will backfire on them too. The Walamala says maybe everyone should stop expecting the Supreme Court to be reasonable. Right. Enlightened Being says the Supreme Court is probably complicit. Probably, I don't trust anyone. They tried to impeach 47 on the sheer fact of what he did on Iran, and the Dems, like 120 of them, voted against impeachment. What WTH? And then Regina says, I predict SCOTUS will have limited terms with the next Democratic POTUS. Congress should have term limits too. Producer Matt says, from an outside perspective, and I may be wrong, but it feels like the American Democrats are putting too much faith in the legal system stopping 47, that they feel they shouldn't have to do more, even though 47 is actively dismantling it. Real Django, good to have you here. I stopped thinking SCOTUS would be the entity to end 47 BS. Yeah, they stopped some little things here and there, but not the bigger issues. Look who's in the house, Dr. Tachi. Good to have you here. And Real Dango says, "Hi, Dr. Tachi." And also, Enlightened Being says, "As I recall, Lala and Aisha laid out Project 2025 last year, and I see this falls right in line with their plans."
Oh yeah, and here's the other thing. To Lala's point about people not doing enough to get rid of this guy, and I think the frustration, and I can see where the exhaustion comes in, where even if people did more, it won't change anything, because our system is set that even if we get rid of him, they're like whack-a-moles. The next 18 behind him, you're gonna have to pound harder, and it's kind of like you want him gone, but you also don't want him gone, because the people behind him. For him, and I wrote this in a piece that just came out on Friendo Media last week. For him, everything is ego. He's ruled by it. He's controlled by it. These people, it's not ego for them. For them, this is the stuff that they enjoy. They like. They want this. This is the kind of America that they want. And as far as they're concerned, it's not going far enough. And I think that
and not fast enough. You see how
fast enough. Right. And what and Regina makes this point about birthright citizenship. Here's the thing that SCOTUS did. Instead of judging on the merits of what Trump was doing and saying, no, he cannot do this for everybody, what they took at issue was whether or not injunctions from one judge can be spread to the entire country.
Right.
So it's not exactly, so technically he didn't get a win on birthright citizenship, because they never actually took birthright citizenship under consideration. What they took under consideration were these injunctions. And this is how you know. He knows it's wrong. He knows it's a losing point. His attorneys didn't even argue the merits of birthright citizenship. They didn't argue the merits of his executive order. What they said was, look at the injunctions. And what they did was they didn't so much as give this man free reign as they did cripple the courts, because he keeps losing in the courts, and he needed them to say these judges have a limit.
But see, that's the part of the plan. O'Bannon has
Project 2025
front. It's the whole plan. Flood the whole thing. You cannot catch everything, because this big, beautiful is still getting bounced and forth, back and forth. And everybody was upset because they praised them in Congress. No, maybe it's not done yet. It's going back and forth. Why? But see, you watching that, and then 25 other things are going on at your head. This is the plan. You can't catch everything.
Right. He wants people to be upset about things. I said this before on this program. I will say it again. When we say that Democrats aren't doing enough, they're not doing enough because they're trying to all deal with all the problems. Like I said before, what they need to do is divide up the work. You all are just going to focus on his court issues in the courts. You all are going to focus just on immigration. This group of you is going to focus just on this bill. This group of you is going to focus on this thing that he's doing. This group of you is going to focus on him going after academia. Because the thing is, because it's so much all at once, they're all over the place trying to hit all the things, when this requires a very targeted strategy, a very specific strategy, and not everyone can hit everything, because not everyone is good at it. Let's be honest. There are some Dems out here missing the mark. Even when they try to make these statements, because Kirsten Gillibrand, these people are out here missing the mark. So if you don't have anything to say that's going to advance us, actually, I kind of wish you would just shut up.
Yeah, go sit down somewhere because we got work to do.
Yeah, exactly. That part.
You
Don't
got
sit in the corner.
What's it? Big Daddy Kane says, "I got the job done. I
get the job done.
I work, baby. I
Produced by Teddy Riley.
There you go. Okay. Again, a lot of people live are watching on the YouTube channel, so I got an interactive poll for everyone to do if you're up to it on the YouTube channel. So here's the poll. How do you feel about the Supreme Court's decision on birthright? Okay, I have to change that. Option 3. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take that off because I gotta edit it. I had something wrong there. Okay, we'll come back. Continue on with your comments, lady.
But you know what? I'll tell you this. You know what? When Enlightened Being said this before, Regina said it before, everyone else who said that we have mentioned this in Project 2025. The thing is, this here, if you read Project 2025, they do want to attack birthright citizenship, but they say they want to do that through executive order, which is what he tried. In the court, his own attorneys didn't even try to defend his executive order. But the thing that they did put in Project 2025 that a lot of people missed because they might not have understood it was this thing about injunctions, nationwide injunctions. And they didn't understand that just meant that if a judge says, I want this to stop for the whole country until we get to the heart of this, then that works. And our justice system can work. I think the thing that we're going to have to reevaluate is, does it need to work so slowly? That's part of and Trump knows this, and he's taking advantage of that. And I think that if the news media actually reported on how many losses he's had in court, I think people would understand more why he went after that than just birthright citizenship on the face.
We need a whole news channel that just reports on that. Because there's so many things happening in the world, you can only cover so much. And we all know that our news is corrupt. But then another thing that they do is they repeat themselves over and over, and they say the same stuff over and over, and none of this part is getting reported. I wish someone had enough money to have a news outlet that would just come out and show everything that is going on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And here's the thing that I think people don't realize is that, when the legal team, and I only know this because I am working with an attorney on a case. When a legal team sits with their client, they sit with, strategize different things and how things come up, and then you've got to respond to all kinds of different. Know that his team, they knew everything that he did, everything that he wanted to do, and they knew what would lose. They knew how, because remember, those 6 justices, he appointed 3 of them. And before they came, and remember, these are their final judgments for the end of this session. The thing that they know, and how we know pressure was put on them, is because Pam Bondi said, we're really going after the 14th. In October. Yeah. That's when they go back into session. And that tells you they knew their case wasn't strong enough on that this go around. They just wanted them to stop the injunctions so that they can get to a point that they can do this.
All
exactly.
Right. I have just updated the poll, so everything should be in good lining now. I'm going to show it on the screen. So if you're watching live on the YouTube channel, how do you feel about the Supreme Court's decision on birthright citizenship? 1, I strongly agree with it. 2, I somewhat agree. 3, I somewhat disagree. 4, I strongly disagree. Vote now. All you have to do is hit one of the numbers and press enter, and we'll get back to the poll in just a moment. Let's get to some of the comments here. Okay. We got the votes coming in. There we go in real time. We got some comments here, catching up here. little bit crazy. Okay, we're back. Okay, Dr. Tachi says, the real Dango. Hey there. And also, the real Dango says, smiley face. Enlightened Being says, this is the long with the corruption. And the long with the corruption and end game plan. Long.
Yep.
Regina says, yeah, but like him or not, 47 is a cult leader.
Mm-hmm.
For Project 2025 adherents have zero charisma. Think Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance. By the way, the big BB is getting gutted by the parliamentarian.
You know what's funny about you know what's funny though about calling it the Big Beautiful Bill? The majority of people on Medicaid are white. He thinks it's beautiful that white people will die. And that's the message that Democrats need to say. Because that is the message that will get to people. They don't care about there are people in this country, they don't care about seeing Latinos rounded up out of their neighborhoods from their jobs. They don't care about anything else. But you tell them that people who look like them and their kids are going to die. And you have to keep saying the majority of people on Medicaid are white. Majority of people on Medicaid are white. Majority of people on Medicaid are white. Because as long as that information is still,
it's not going to sink in until it happens.
It's not going to sink in until it happens. But we also have to change the language of it too, because the language around it has been the thing that has stuck. When you ask any person, you ask any common white person off the street, and I know this because I had to do this for a job, to report on that. Oh, it's mostly Black people and the Hispanics. No, it's not. And so it's like we're at this point where we're gonna have to reteach things. Just like I promise you, a lot of people did not realize that the majority of those people that died from COVID were white. And you know how
it's not going to be brought out to many years later. It's not going to be brought out to many years later. We may not even be here when that truth comes out.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing with him as and cult leaders, those people are baked in, and I guess for me, I don't care about those people. I don't care about trying to get through to them. I really don't. The people that are bothering me more than anything are the moderate people. They are the moderates, the people who are in the middle, people who call themselves centrist. You know what? We're not in a time where you can be moderate and be in the center. You got to be on one side or the other and pick a side. And when you pick a side, you need to go hard.
Or they say, in my case, someone in my circle, I'm a libertarian.
Libertarian is another word of saying you are a Republican. Put it this way. That's like saying you're Latino, but you're Ecuadorian and not Puerto Rican. That's like saying that you're Black, but you're Jamaican or Nigerian. Still Black.
Native American.
It's the same thing. You can say you're a libertarian. You can say you're a fundamentalist, and most of y'all can say you're independent. But guess what? You are soft Republicans.
Exactly.
Regina goes, Dr. Tachi, you need to weigh in. Yes, if Dr. Tachi, usually this is not like Dr. Tachi just be in the background. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to show the results of the poll so far that we have going on. And yeah, well, it seems that strongly disagree is so far the winner, not the winner, a leader in this. So no, not a surprise with this audience. Not a surprise with this audience. Okay. Do we go forward, or have we finished our comments on this one?
Yeah, I'm done. This is something we'll come back to.
I think that is it for today. Ladies, you were epic today. Epic conversation today. Now, before we leave, a few quick things. First things first, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, we want to get what you thought about today's conversation. So from 1 to 5, 1 saying and 5 saying the ladies hit it out of the park. So if you can vote on the YouTube channel, that would be much appreciated. Now, let's do this. We want to say thank you to the ladies' time as per usual. And first, let's go to Lala. How can people get into Lala's world?
Well, I have a website that I've put a lot of things on there for that, for my real estate business. And also, if you're thinking about moving abroad, I have an excellent quiz there for you. And it's going to help you to decide where you are in that process. And no matter where you are on that plan, it's going to give you a good idea of what you need to start thinking about if you're thinking about traveling or moving abroad. I also have a new series on my YouTube channel called Living the Lala Life. The series is Finding Your Soul's Voice, and it is tapping into your life purpose. Many of us put our life purpose on hold for whatever reason. Someone telling you you can't. Maybe you had children early like myself and then think you couldn't go live your dreams. But I have tapped into some things that are helping me to get back to my life purpose. And if you would like to join me on that journey to also tap into yours, then I need you to come to my YouTube channel, which is Living the Lala Life, and join in on the fun. The introduction was last week. We start week 1 on Monday.
By the way, can people get to your YouTube channel from your laurakey.net site?
I will definitely put that up this weekend, but I also sent you, Dr. Vibe, the link to that.
Okay, and I think we should have it.
I don't think it's in tonight's. I think I sent it last week.
Okay, we'll update that next week. My apologies. All right. Thank you so much. Aisha K., how do we touch base with you?
Oh, wow. You can find me on Instagram at AK Staggers, Medium at AishaKStaggers.medium.com, Blue Sky at akstaggers.bsky.social, Brendo Media at brendomedia.com, where I'm editor at large. I have a new piece up there that was published Thursday, and Substack at Aisha K. Staggers.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That is great and fantastic. And myself, how can you get a hold of me? There is a number of ways. The drvibeshow.com, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, The Dr. Vibe Show, Instagram at The DRVIBESHOW, X/Twitter at DRVIBESHOW, email dr.vibe at the drvibeshow. On Substack, yes, we finally had a live show on Substack. Yes, 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 as Tiara would say. She goes, yes, yes, yes. Tiara likes to go. and Lala knows that I did a Tiara imitation. If she's still watching, I hope I did it well. All right. So you can also catch me on Substack. And there we go. drvibe.substack.com/subscribe. And also on Blue Sky, drvibe.bsky.social, and TikTok at the dr.VIBESHOW. And you can watch replays of this epic conversation on the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and the Dr. Vibe Show website. I want to shout out everybody here. Also, people who chimed in from Lala's page, DRG Landry, Soraya, and Bobby Turner. Thank you so much for jumping in. Got a few more quick comments here. All right. Soraya put in a lovely quote. Quote, if they take you in the morning, they'll be coming for us at night. James Baldwin. And the Walla Mala said that this conversation today was a home run. Thank you. Aisha said, love that quote, Soraya. And Lala has put her YouTube link in there. So there, we've got it. We've covered it all. And yeah, everyone. Okay, I'm going to put up the poll because I think Soraya voted wrong. I believe so. But I'm going to put up the poll anyways, because I know with her involvement. So I think, Soraya, you thought a 1 would be fantastic. 5 is the fantastic. So you've been, I know that it was just an error. You came in late, no problem. So I'm considering that it was 100%. We're gonna leave it like that. All right. Thank you, everyone who watched live on the replay. This is epic. So this is how we're going to finish it off. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller, get stronger. Block assumptions. Aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourself grace If you're not making money, make history. But try to do both and make it better. God bless. Peace well. Keep the faith while good. And thanks, producer Matt. See you next time.
To understand how afraid I am of any member of the rodent family that's down to squirrels and chipmunks. Okay? I cannot stand all members of the rodent family. Rabbits, bunnies, no. What else is going on that day? I mean, is there something we're supposed to be doing?
Why are you going there? Why are you going there? You know I'm going to ask you. It falls the same day as the inauguration of the new president.
The what? Excuse me? I'm sorry?
So in other words, Monday.
So onesies. Now, folks, don't ever think you're going to see us all on a show with onesies on. Don't do that.
You might see me. You might see me.
You'll see me and you'll see me and Lala, because we oftentimes wear ours.